You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona.
Hi, welcome to Question Reality. Welcome to the show. I'm Priscilla Leona, producer and host, and we are broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California, and we are going to provide you with entertainment industry career advice. Whether you're considering a career in show business or you need tips to elevate your existing career, this show is for you. That's it. That's what we're all about. And some of the guests on our shows, our show. Lord have mercy. I'm exhausted today. I'm so tired. Hopefully I can get through this intro. I just rewrote it, so do not have it memorized. Okay, so some of our guests include Oscar nominees, Emmy Award winners, Grammy Award winners, Tony Award winners. We have reality TV stars and just a diverse group of show business professionals from film and television and music and radio. We have got you covered. They are from all over the realm, just all over the entertainment industry realm. Now, archive pages, past shows. If you missed any of our episodes, you can catch up by going to our YouTube channel at Priscilla Leona. So you just go to YouTube and you just type Priscilla Leona, and that is my channel. You can watch us also live on our Facebook page. You can, that is Question Reality Radio Show. You just type Question Reality Radio Show and we're live there. Our website is questionrealityradioshow.com, and that's where you can not only find out more about us as a whole, the Question Reality Radio Show, but we also have the schedules on there, so you can see any of our upcoming guests. For example, very excited. As you know, we have fabulous guests on this show. Last week we had Mary Lou Belli, multiple Emmy-winning award winner, Emmy Award winner. And then the show prior, we had my friend Alan Hooper. He is a A-list casting director and associate casting person, depending on the project. As you know, he is currently casting for Frasier, and he cast from the whole entire season length, the run of the show, as they say in show business, for Modern Family, and he is Superior Donuts and Call Me Kat. So you just look him up on IMDb, alanhooper.com. alanhooper.com. I just give everybody a .com, PriscillaLeona.com. That don't matter who you are, just put a .com at the end of your name. And next week, we have one of my favorite people in the whole world. I love Michael. His name is Michael Orland. He was the musical director for American Idol for the whole 16 seasons. They're back now, but for 16 seasons. And he also did some vocal coaching there. And I'm not sure, don't quote me on it, but I know he just finished a tour with Kristen Chenoweth, her one-woman show, but he tours with all the celebs, and he's going to be on next Monday at 7:00, and we're going to hear all kinds of stories from when he was on American Idol. He's going to give tips on how to improve your voice. If you're an aspiring vocalist or person in the music industry, you don't want to miss that show. Michael Orland is the best. I love him. You're going to love him. He's so fun. So you can find out about any of our upcoming guests on my 2024 schedule, which is on questionrealityradioshow.com. So for example, if you want to be a script supervisor, you'd scan the page and say, oh, this person's coming on script supervisor. If you wanted to be an author or an editor or whatever you want, we try to make it a very diverse group. So your profession is most likely going to be on there. If you want to do anything kinky, I would say no. No adult porn stars. No. I wouldn't mind interviewing them privately, hot males, of course, but not unfortunately, not on my show. We don't have an audience for it. Also, we're on LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter under Priscilla Leona. Real quick, every week, I make sure that I tell you this. Branding is so important in every aspect of your career, but especially when you're pursuing a career in the entertainment industry. Try to keep, when you're starting out and you're doing your branding, make sure hopefully you choose your name. So for example, Priscilla Leona, or if it's a book, you can always add that Priscilla Leona, and then the book, I love Harry Styles and he loves me, the day we met in the bathroom. I'm just saying, it's a fantasy, but I could turn it into a book. But you could always have an additional title, but try to keep your branding, your name or your product. But we don't do too many products here, but your name if you're in the entertainment industry. And a little favor, a little itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini favor. If you enjoy our show, our guest, please subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel, and our Facebook page. So that would be on YouTube, Priscilla Leona, or on Facebook, Question Reality Radio Show. And what's great is that if you follow us, we will follow you. And I just think it's so important. A lot of people do not do that. They expect you to follow them, and then they don't subscribe to your channels. They don't give you likes. They don't give you comments. You would be surprised. I actually was doing a little tiny bit of research to see how many celebrities had likes and comments and things. And I was surprised at how they would have like millions of followers, but not that many likes or comments compared to how many subscriptions or followers they had. So a lot of people will just look at your stuff and they won't even bother to give you a little thumb. I mean, I give total strangers thumbs if I like their content. I mean, what's so hard about it? Don't be greedy with your thumb. Don't give it a little thumb. We don't need a thumb nowadays. Don't be greedy with the thumbs, but we will follow you back and look at your page, and maybe you would want to be a guest on our show. Now, also, if you want to come on the show as a guest, if you're working in the entertainment industry, or if you know someone and you think they would fit right into our farm, we would love it if you would go to our website, questionrealityradioshow.com, and go to the contact page. And it's real easy. Just or you can email me, priscillaleona@yahoo.com. priscillaleona@yahoo.com. But if you go to the website, just click the contact link, and it's just your name and email and website, social media sites, and then you are on the world of vetting. We're vetting you. You're being processed, and hopefully we can make it happen. So there you go. That is it. That is the show introduction. Now we're on to the exciting part. Before we bring our guests on today, I was just so, as I am always, blown away by Mary Lou Belli. As I said, she is a multiple Emmy-winning award. I'm getting ready to say actor. Lord, wait a minute. Let me get it. I am so tongue-tied today. She's a multiple Emmy award-winning director. And she has had a career. If you don't know who she is, let's just tell you. Okay, so she's had a career spanning over 30 years, and she has worked across various genres, television, film, you name it. It's I think she does sitcoms, she does procedurals and documentaries and film. She does everything. She directs everything. Now, some of her notable shows, who I love these shows, and I'm sure that you've seen at least one of them. So let me just read them off. The Miss Pat Show, which is, she was nominated for 2 Emmys for that. She's currently directing episodes on that. And I think we talked about her. She's now holding the title of executive producer now on the show. And of course, NCIS New Orleans, she directed a ton of those. Bull, of course, Black Lightning, Legacies, one of my favorite shows of all time, Sweet Magnolias, Station 19, and Heart of Dixon. You can go to imdb.com, type Mary Lou Belli, and you can see 30 years worth of credits. She also lent her talents to series like Wizards of Waverly Place and Sister Sister and Girlfriends, the Game 12, just on and on and on and on. And now, in addition to her work behind the camera, which is what I was leading to, she is also an accomplished author of many entertainment industry career related books. Her third edition, no, don't pull that one up yet. I don't actually have the picture for the third edition for that. Okay, let me just show you, because Albert pulled up the wrong one. Okay, those are all right. Let me just show you. Okay, so this one, let's see. I have the second edition. The directors tell the story, but she's now on the third edition, which she was promoting last week. And then now Albert showed wait a minute, the other book that I have. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have her send me the other books. But this was the very first one that I got from her because I attended her sitcom intensive masterclass. And this is the first one I got, and then the second one. And then also, now, there you go, acting for young actors. So if you have children that you want to get in the business, there you go. She's got a book. It's the Ultimate Teen Guide. And then Perform, Acting for the Screen. Just wonderful. And this one, Directors Tell the Story, the Master the Craft of Television and Film Directing. That's the book I just showed you. This is, that's the first edition. And then I showed you the second, and now she's got the third one. And that's also the book I just showed you for people who are aspiring sitcom actors or directors or producers. And what else do we have? We just have the 4 books, right? Okay. So these books, let me just tell you now, you can go and probably read a little bit about them on Kindle, but these books, they're on Amazon.com. You can also go to her website, maryloubelli.com, and purchase them. So you can purchase them on Amazon and also on maryloubelli.com. And these books serve as just invaluable guides and blueprints for success in the entertainment industry. And they're essential reads, in my opinion. They are just must-haves for anyone that is aspiring in the entertainment industry. And she doesn't just cover, there are things for actors, directors, producers, behind the scenes people. She has interviews with, of course, celebrities, famous producers, famous directors, famous casting directors, you name it. Her books cover everything. And I would highly recommend them. I wanted to actually read you a couple. Well, I just love this. This is, I'm going to just read this real quick for chapter 1. So in chapter 1, it's titled Getting the Job. Okay, so I can't read close up. I'm old, people. I got to lift my glasses now. I need bifocals, but I refuse to wear them. Okay, so in the chapter 1, Getting the Job, how to prepare for an audition, accessing information on a show, analyzing a sitcom script, how to learn by watching, do's and don'ts for auditioning, why K's and P's are funny. That blew my mind, because when I took her class, I could not believe she had the diagram up on the board. And I thought, I never realized how important K's and P's are when you're writing a script. So there's a whole chapter that covers writing a sitcom as well. And how to make strong, memorable choices, what to wear to an audition, how to get your script read, advice for getting the job, audition tips, how a director prepares, career profile of a sitcom casting director. And that's just chapter 1. And as you can see, this is a very big book. And so I can only recommend that you get these books, but it is up to you. And it would behoove you to get it, especially the directors tell the story. If you're an aspiring director, oh my gosh. Yeah, let me see what I'm just going to read like the first directors tell the story. Oh, and the co-author is Bethany Rooney, which I'm sure that, let me just, I don't, oh, here you go. Okay. So it's a little different, but here is, I'll just read you a couple. So section 1, prep. Breaking down the script for story, breaking down the script for character, casting, production design, scouting locations, organizing the shoot with the first assistant director, sharing the vision, blocking and shot listing part 1 and then part 2, directing the actor, below the line, all the other stuff, running the set. I mean, if you're an aspiring director, come on now, because if you, okay, let me continue. Working with the editor, working with the post supervisor, being a director, the demands of the job, getting started. Okay, so for most people who are not working in the entertainment industry and they want to direct, but they're a little unsure, this book is so important because Mary Lou Bella is an extremely detail-oriented person, and that's how my mind works. I like a lot of details. It's better to have too much of anything rather than not enough, right? I was just thinking something else. But yeah, so I would highly recommend this because unless you are in Hollywood or New York or somewhere where you're going to actually be on the set to see a director direct, it would take you a very long time to figure these things out. And what I love about her is she inserts scripts in there and she gives notes and breakdowns, and she talks about the various famous sitcoms that she's worked on. So again, even if you are on your way to success and you've been booking jobs right and left, it does not hurt to read these books. All right, so get them. Mary Lou Bella. All right, let's move on. I just believe in those books so much. I told Mary Lou I have decided I am going to promote her books till the end of time. I don't know if I'm going to do them every week. I'll probably do them every other week, but maybe when actors come on or directors, that would be a good time. Okay, let's move on to the exciting chickaroony that's on today. Her name is Tasha Perez Dixon. Look at that gorgeous girl. Look how hot she is. My God, she's a hottie. She is an actress, an editor, a producer, a director, a former Miss Arizona. Oh, I can't wait to talk to her about that. I was most fascinated when I met her through a mutual friend, Beverly Pomerantz. And I wanted to know, so how did you become Miss Arizona? Okay, Albert, that picture's on too long. There you go. We want to see more. Look at that beautiful hair. I want to scalp her right now. Put it on my head. Look at that. Oh my God, it's so shiny. She's got Pantene hair. Okay, so if you want to find out more about her, you would go on IMDb.com and, of course, type in her name, Tasha Dixon. She's also on Instagram as, I believe, Real Tasha Dixon. Yes, Real Tasha Dixon. And she pretty much kept it in the branding. She's got her name on IMDb and then IG. Sometimes you have a common name and you can't get Tasha Dixon, so you add things like Real or Tasha Dixon Actor or something like that, which is okay because you're not always going to get your name. And she is a very proud, that picture is so tiny. I wanted that to be bigger. I don't know how that picture is so tiny. I don't know. She is a very proud Latina, and she stands out not only as a trailblazing advocate for diversity, but also as a multifaceted artist. And her unique blend of humor and compelling narratives has just garnered her so much attention. I think her hair, hot body, and gorgeous face did it too, but she's got skill. She's got a talent stack, let me tell you. But recently, very exciting, she portrayed Amelia Gomez in the Apple TV Plus series called For All Mankind, and we're going to talk about that role. And she just completed a supporting role in the streaming feature called The Centurn. And I wish I could tell you more about that. I went on IMDb to look for it. It's not on there yet, I imagine, because, well, I don't know why. We'll have to find out. Okay, so Tasha's journey began with now when I told you she's not just a raving beauty, but she's super smart and intelligent, and she's got the talent stack. And in the stack, she got a full ride academic scholarship and Hispanic heritage scholarships, which led to her major in, now this I cannot wait to talk to her about. She majored in what's called interdisciplinary filmmaking. I had never heard those two words put together. I did not. Maybe that's like what all the new young kids are majoring in, but I did not ever know that existed. So we're going to find out from her, because I know I'm not the only one. We're going to find out what that major entails. And she got that from Arizona State University. And because of her having this solid academic foundation, that really became the bedrock for her creative pursuits. And it really allowed her to excel in every aspect of filmmaking. And that's very important, that if you are an actress, an aspiring director, producer, that you really do know every aspect of filmmaking. I know when I came here, I had just graduated college, and I came here and I went to UCLA, and boy, they're like, okay, this is the camera, and this is this part and that part, and this is what the DP does, and this is what this part. I said, oh my God, I have brain overload. But it's so important, but not all people take to it, and it can be overwhelming, and it can make you decide that you might not want to go in the entertainment industry, but just stick with it, and it all will be revealed as to what career that you are most compatible for in the entertainment industry. I decided, because I had wanted to be a sitcom director, which is what Mary Lou does. And after that class, I said, oh, no. Oh, hell no. Nope, that's not for me. I navigated more towards the producer end, because, again, as I said, I'm very detail oriented, and I like organization. All right. So Tasha has an impressive track record. And what I was blown away by, I did not know that she was also an editor. She has edited over 80 television episodes, produced, directed, and even filmed people. Again, this is another one I cannot wait to ask her about. She has filmed people, are you ready for this, in zero gravity. What the hell? I've never, ever met anyone that's filmed anyone in zero gravity. She's the first person. I'm excited. And I just think Tasha is just a true force in the entertainment industry. Again, check her credits out on imdb.com, and then on Instagram at Real Tasha Dixon. And let's just bring her on live. We can't stand it anymore. Your stills. We want to see you. Where are you?
Hello.
Hey, I don't know. There you are. Hey. Wow. Did you get impressed listening to your bio?
Can I put you in my pocket and have you with me all the time?
Yes. Well, I always think everyone should be able to walk down the street. They should have theme music playing and wind blowing through their hair. No matter if they're at the grocery store, they go to the laundromat. everyone deserves theme music and win.
I think that 100%. The world
Right?
would be a better place.
Why? I agree. Now, I was recently, just a couple hours ago, I went on your Facebook page and I saw your post that said that you were living the dream recently. And here's what you said. You said that you were creating space and calling in great opportunities. You had development meetings at Fox, auditions for big directors, and you were capping it off with an exquisite red carpet interview at the Regent Beverly Wilshire. I'm like, what? Wow. Now, wait a minute. You had a fun fact in there. You said, this is the dress, which we saw in the picture. Albert, show that dress again that Tasha's in, that pinky dress. Where is that dress? I want to show people that dress. Okay, it's coming. Hold on. It's coming. It's coming. Where is that dress? There it is. So that dress, she added, Tasha added as a fun fact, that's the dress she competed in for Miss USA, in which now Albert is a Star Trek William Shatner loving fanatic. This is why I included it. You said that William Shatner told the world that you reminded him of Sandy, aka Sandra Bullock. Okay, we can go back to Tasha now. So I want to hear about everything that I just laid out. I want to hear first the William Shatner thing.
I've worked with Bill twice, actually. I've been lucky enough to work with him twice.
Calling him Bill! My goodness! Wow!
Yeah.
What were the two projects that you worked with him on?
Well, so he actually hosted Miss USA after Miss Congeniality came out, where he played the pageant host. They hired him to be the host. So when I was picking my fishbowl question, that's when he said, "You remind me a lot of Sandy." And I grabbed the mic and I said, "Well, I would be happy with half her career. I only need half an Oscar. I'm not greedy."
Right. Oh my gosh. And what was the second project?
And then I got cast in a sitcom called Shit My Dad Says, where he's the dad.
Yeah.
So I got to play newscaster Tigre Ramirez, coming to you live from Chula Vista.
Now, when you did he remember you, or did you have to remind him about how you had worked with him before?
Well, once I jogged his memory, to place, that I had been there, then we had, a nice long conversation, and he loves horses. So we were talking about his horses and all that good stuff. Yeah. And, I also work in aerospace, which we'll talk about in a bit, which I did not fly with him in zero gravity, but, he went up suborbital. And did that experience too.
Oh my God. Yeah, I have so many friends that have worked with him. And unfortunately, Albert and I have not met him yet. And I said, Albert, time is running out. We're going to have to contact our friends, and we are going to have to make it happen, because we had a lot of people that either directed him in things, produced things with him, or starred with him in something. And so we got to make it happen. But, in the entertainment industry, I don't know. I don't think it's cool to be asking people for favors to do things like that. I think that's a wrong move. So I haven't done it yet, but Albert, that's one of his goals, is to meet William Shatner. So we have got to make it happen. So what is going on with this creating space, calling in great development meetings at Fox? Do tell.
Well, so all of that happened in one day. That was all one day.
Wow! What?
Yeah,
it was the greatest day ever.
Yeah, talk about Cinderella. Like, please, I don't want to wake up from this dream. So I'm actually joining new film industry groups. So I'm with an organization called Hearts, and they had a competition. If you write what your goals are and answered a few questions, you could potentially win like a mentorship development meetings with different people they feel you could align with. Yeah. So they connected me with a wonderful woman who is over at Onyx, which is part of ABC at Fox. And we're both of minority descent, and just talking about, you know, how, because I also, besides all the things you mentioned, part of the producing side is I have my own scripts in development. So the next step of getting those made, and those are wonderful comedic, both of them are comedic pieces, because I deal with my trauma through comedy, and I want to reteach the world how to take a joke and how to laugh, because I feel like my whole thing, just like music connects with people differently because it reverberates in your bones. It literally like moves your skeleton. So does laughing. Laughing disarms you so that you can plant the seed of, you know, whatever good intention, good theme, good message you want in your project. But I feel like these days we've forgotten how to laugh, or everyone has a megaphone and wants to be offended for everybody else, when it's like, you know, part of taking the joke and the court jester was to make fun of things, to show the absurdism, to start to make you think. Because if you look at many comedic directors and writers and producers, they either do really crazy comedies like Austin Powers, or they do really heavy political dramas, you know. But it's because you're in the mind of thinking, and how can I connect with people to invoke change or inspire them to be their best selves. And the best way to do it is to, in my opinion, to make people laugh.
Exactly. So for those people who don't know what goes on in a development meeting at a big studio like Fox, can you just briefly describe what happens?
Yeah, so you know, usually you get a drive onto the lot, which is always like a secret, like living the dream for me. Anytime I get to go on the lot, you know, it's the old timey Wizard of Oz feel of like, oh, this is the thing, you know. So you know, you get a drive on to go on the lot, and you know, you come in, you talk to the guard, and then somebody meets with you. They offer you a lovely water. It's just like you see in the movies. And, you know, you go into the office. Sometimes they'll give you a tour, a little bit of the floor. And, you know, it's a little bit of a general meeting where they want to, you know, you want to get to know each other. You don't want to just go right down to brass tacks business, especially if you're going to develop something and work on the long term. It's like, let's find out a little of the same common ground of personal stuff and why we're in this business and all the fun stuff. And then from there, you know, you kind of go into, I mean, it depends on the meeting. Sometimes you go into a pitch per se and showing your deck if it's a more professional kind of meeting. And other times, like in this circumstance, it was more of a laid back first meeting. And then we're going to go into, on our next meeting, we're going to go into looking at my deck. And just for people who don't know, a deck is if you have an idea for a film or a show. For a show, you make like a show Bible. For a film, you make a deck. And it has everything from imagery to how you want it to look, color palette, the theme, ideas of stars, who's attached, whether it's producers who wrote it, you know, and a little bio about them. And, you know, if you can get into the sales part of it, like where you see it going, or projection on what you think it could make, or ROIs on investment. And why you want to make it. So that's that, and that'll be like the next meeting. We'll be going into that, and the nuts and bolts of like, okay, how can we do this? Who'd be interested in this? Like, it's not just who can we connect you with, but like who is like-minded to jump aboard.
Well, that is amazing, and that's also called a pitch deck. If people have ever heard of that term. So this was all done through that mentor program, you're saying, right?
Yes.
So what you would recommend is that's an excellent opportunity that for people, and that more people should try to get aboard that whole get aboard the board. Get aboard the board. Should actually try to take that route if they're serious about. Is that something you'd recommend if they're serious about their career in as a screenwriter? Because if you're doing a pitch, and you know.
Yeah, I feel you want to be ready for it, because that's a real golden opportunity, because you're going straight to the big leagues. So yes, I say definitely pursue it, but after the greenness has rubbed off, and when you really have something to offer, because the thing with higher ups is they don't have the time. So if you can come in and wow them and excite them and get them motivated, or, you know, whether it's with dollar signs or a message or your own personality or your original concept, then that's, but if it's more of a like, oh, I'm still figuring out my way, then there's other avenues to go in the meantime. And then once you're ready to jump to this, then this is definitely something to pursue. And I did watch, I actually know Mary Lou Belli as well. I had, when I first moved here and I was taking sitcom classes, I have her book, the new sitcom. Yeah. So I have that one, and I agree with what she was saying too. I mean, I applied to director internships with the studios and also the acting ones and stuff. So I'm always trying to be involved in any way I can. That's the one.
Yes. Did you take the intensive master classes too?
I did a couple of sessions with her. Yeah.
In the classes. So, excuse me, I'm verklempt over here. Never drink milk before an interview.
Milk was a bad idea, in the words of Will Ferrell of Anchorman.
I love milk so much. Well, I wanted to know, as far as the development, just for people who aren't familiar with that. Again, we're not saying you walk out of a screenwriting class and you go try to join a board. That's not going to happen. But as Tasha said, you have to build up your credits and your resume, and then how I would imagine that you were impressive enough that that's how you were asked to join this particular mentoring group. And did you say it was HART, HART?
HRTS. So hearts without the E. HRTS.
HORTS.
HRTS.
TS. Okay. And what does that stand for, HRTS?
Oh goodness, I'm gonna have to look that up, because I'm all about the acronyms. I'm the young folk that's all about the OMGs.
Yes, I'm sorry. You can get back to us on that. You can get back to us on that. And so you said you were doing auditions for big directors. Now, who were you doing an audition for? If you can tell us, because a lot of times actors who go on these auditions, they can't reveal that stuff, especially.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I can vague book, as they call it. So it's for, which is great, because I have auditioned for recurrings and been up for some recurring roles on Orange is the New Black and Weeds back in the day. So
is that still on? Orange is the New Black? Is that
not?
Going?
It's not.
Okay.
But that's why this.
Wait.
Right. But that's why this director's doing this new film. It's a film, so I can't say what it is. But he directed episodes and produced on those shows. So it was nice to be invited to audition for a really delicious role as a detective, which I play a lot. Again, basically, I'm like a Latina Sandra Bullock little sister. So, she plays caporals and she plays physical comedy, and that's me.
Oh, I want to go back. I just remembered I thought of a question while we were talking, and I forgot it. Now I'm back again. Let's talk. Okay, so when you were asked to be on this, join this group, and you are doing your development meetings, how does your agent handle that? Do you have to get permission? Because a lot of people don't understand how that works, because when you have an agent, they want to know everything. What are you doing? What's happening? What's going on? And some of them will discourage you to join this and that, and this and that. How did you work that out with your agent when you were asked to be on board? Well, you don't need to tell me what transpired between you and your agent, but just tell me about, you've heard about it, and how does that work, I guess?
Well, actually, my agent is, I have a couple of agents, but one of my agents is a really good friend of mine. And yesterday we actually met and spoke with Josh Hartnett and Kate Mara and the creator, producer, writer of Black Mirror. So we got to go.
One of my favorite shows.
Yeah. So they were actually showcasing the space episode that has Aaron Paul and Josh Hartnett in it. If you saw it from this last season, as a FYC for your consideration for the Emmys. So we got to go to Netflix and do some hobnob and elbow rubbing, which was great. And then she introduced me to a showrunner producer of a different show called The Bay, that he's also Puerto Rican, because I'm Puerto Rican and Cuban. And, you know, we're going to maybe talk about his next season, and maybe there could be a role for me in that, which would be cool, knock on wood. So
there's no conflict with your agents and you going on board and pitching your independent projects. I wouldn't imagine there are, but I have.
So the way agents are in California, it's different in New York, which I also lived in New York. But in California, you have like a single agent for each thing you're doing, each track. So like I have a commercial agent that's exclusive for commercials. Then I have a film and TV agent, theatrical, for that. But if I wanted right now, I don't have an agent as a producer or a writer or anything like that. So I'm totally a free Mason. I'm a free bird to do whatever I want.
You're a free agent.
Free agent. That's it.
Okay, that answers the question. Yeah, because I was wondering, you know, how that would work for you. So now, what is, you capped it off with an exquisite red carpet at the Regent Beverly Wilshire, and everybody knows that's where they filmed Pretty Woman, or if you don't know, that's where they filmed it. So I bet that was very exciting for you, right? What were you there for the red carpet event?
So the LA Ballet was having their annual gala, and I don't know if you noticed, but my dress was also ballerina pink because I love to be on theme for an event. Yeah. So it was a beautiful event. Donna Mills hosted the project.
Stop it! I was in a. Oh my God! I work with her. I was a producer for a film, and then the actress that was supposed to be doing a role got sick at the last minute, so the director said, "Oh, Priscilla, by the way, we need you to do this scene." I'm like, "No, God!" But it was with Donna Mills, and she was so lovely, and she was so nice. Oh, I love this woman.
I will not out her on her age, but she is an everlasting beauty. That is what I'm going to say about that.
Oh yeah, when you see her up close, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta see something that shows her age. Absolutely nothing. I mean, she still looks like what I always get it confused. Not Dynasty. What was she on?
Knots Landing, I think.
Knots Landing. Thank you.
That's what I remember them saying. I have not seen it, but that's what I recall them saying.
Yes. So when I was working with her on what was that movie? I was I can't remember, but the movie that we worked on, I told her about how all of my cousins and my uncles just would sit and watch Knots Landing, and they lusted after her. And I mean, the things that they were talking about, she laughed. She loved it. So what a great sport she is. I love
Absolutely. It. Yeah. And it's funny how small this industry gets, because, my friend and director, Stan Zimmerman, who directed me in it's still kind of ongoing. It's like a 5-year ongoing international run of a Latinx version of The Diary of Anne Frank. He just wrote a Christmas movie that Donna Mills is in it's like, I think it's called like Ladies of the 80s, A Christmas Story. And it's all the 80s actresses all coming together and, hijinks ensue.
Tasha, why did you tell me that? I am so obsessed with Christmas movies. Everybody who knows me knows that my dream, I've been producer on 2 Christmas films, but my dream, and you're going to think this is crazy, but I don't have big dreams as far as being in films. I just want to be a background extra, just an extra way far in the back. I don't care. That is the dream, and it's such a weird dream to have. But I was just talking to Alan Hooper, and he said, "Oh, Priscilla, I don't want to make you feel sad, but we just wrapped the Christmas episode of Frasier, and had I known, I would have weaseled my way in there as a background extra." So, you just finished it?
What?
You just finished shooting, or it was?
Oh no, they finished
they
shooting.
Just finished it. I am going to have to find a better way.
Well,
I'm
let's
going to
just
have
make
to
one.
find a way.
Priscilla, let's just make another one, and then we'll put you in the back.
Yes, put me in. I know
Probably.
every Christmas movie I've shot in, ironically, has been in your native state of Arizona.
All right, let's do it. You've already done 2. Let's do another
I
one.
mean,
With
yes.
Miss Arizona. Come on. You're missing.
There's still hope for me because we are in pre-production for the next Christmas film. So this
I'll put it in my contract.
With,
you have to be promised the extra role in a scene I'm in.
I have to. I am large enough. I could actually be the Santa Claus stunt double. I am ready to do anything. Right? Okay. So we'll work on that. All right. Now you I want to talk about your intellect because you're just such a smart girl. It's so hard to find people who are beautiful, just gorgeous, and then smart at the same time, and then have this and that, like have 20,000 things. We can find intelligent and smart and gorgeous and maybe 5 or 6 other things, but you have so many things going for you. But let's talk about the full ride academic scholarship and Hispanic Heritage Scholarship. And what I was puzzled by, what the heck is interdisciplinary filmmaking? What is that?
So let's see, where do we tackle this beast? Interdisciplinary filmmaking, they teach you every aspect of filmmaking. So you can have a forte. So like my focus was acting, but they want you well-rounded. So they teach, like, you have to take courses in directing, in screenwriting, in Pro Tools for sound, in editing, so that you're well-versed, and you have to like produce your own. At that time, for that project, it was a play. So I produced a play in a black box theater. I had to cast it, I directed it, and then you move on and do a short film, same thing, make the music, cut it, edit it together, and present it, for like, your term finals and stuff. So that way you can be like how I am, a one-stop shop, which then fast forward 5-10 years later with iPhones and I'm an Android girl, Android phones, filmmaking phone. Everybody wigs out of how many cameras I have. Ridley Scott directed.
Yeah, it's like 5 now. It's going to be up and down and across. They're just adding more and more cameras. Well, now that you describe it, that's exactly the classes that I had at UCLA. We had to do all of that, but it wasn't called interdisciplinary filmmaking. It was called acting and directing for the camera. But we had to do all of the other things, write the script. We had to do all of the other aspects.
Grip on someone else's projects, like all the things.
Yeah, we had to do it, but it was not called that. So this must be a new fancy term prior to 1992, which is when I went to UCLA. So, okay. But that does definitely set you up for, that's the best way, because you learn everybody else's part and role, which is so important, especially when you're starting out and you're shooting your little short or you're shooting your little movie, because you have to know what everybody else does, because you can't expect to ask people to do things that you don't even know how to do. I mean, you can, but it's best that you know how to guide them. So
or if your budget is small, then you do them.
Yeah, exactly. You got to do them all. A one-stop shop. That's what I am too. Okay, so that was just so impressive that because you also, now, did you start the editing when you were at Arizona State in that class? I know you started it, but is that what you just continued to do because you loved it, or did people just keep asking you, hey, because I hate editing with a passion. I hate it. I would rather poke my eyes out with Q-tips. I hate it, but it's necessary and you need to do it, especially when you're starting out working your own projects. But some people love that shit. I'm like, no. I tried to learn. What do you use? Pro Tools? Final Cut?
I use Premiere Pro, but I started in Final Cut in school, and then like a lot of the most of the shows are either Premiere or Avid. So I do Premiere Pro, and I'm learning Avid just to be
Oh,
multifaceted for different
God.
shows.
That is so, I tried to take these classes and I just glossed over. I could not do it.
It is technical. It's
It's
like if you're not great with computers, it's a technical skill for sure.
It is. It is so technical. I tried YouTube videos. I tried master classes. I tried beginning classes. I tried editing for dummies. You just have to. You have to gravitate toward it. You have to really want to do it, because if you hate it to begin with, learning it is torturous. So that's my little tip. If you're doing it and you hate it, you probably should
Find someone else to
find somebody else to do it, right?
See, I enjoy it because, like, my two favorite things to do in the business is acting and directing. Those are my two, like, you know, if Spielberg was like, here you go, here's an unlimited budget, what do you want to do? It's acting and directing. But for me, editing is another form of directing, because you can, and I've done it, you can completely change a scene and the storytelling in the edit room. You can get great performances out of, like, I edited a show for PureFlix that had 5 kids, a frog, and a dog. And you know how they say, do not work with kids and animals?
Yeah, yeah.
And I got some of the best performances that the director would be, you know, she'd give me notes and she'd be like, oh my gosh, where did you get this reaction shot? It's so cute. I don't remember shooting it. And I said, it's called scrubbing when you're going through in the edit room on the clips. I was like, I was scrubbing through after you yelled cut, but the camera was still rolling, because a lot of times, not just kids, regular people, human adult actors too, there's, you know, they don't feel like they're on camera and they're listening to the director talk or somebody else, and their face relaxes and they're just naturally listening, naturally reacting, because they're not performing. And you can get, that's a little secret, you can get some great reaction shots, you know, and then obviously you cut the sound out and then you cut it into the performance, and, you know, you can get some beautiful work out of that.
That's a great tip. That is really good. Yeah. I mean, that is something that's so important, because you can get footage. I know I've been on the set many times, and you can get some really natural, beautiful shots that you needed, but the actor wasn't able to give it to you for some reason, and you're able to get it just by letting the film roll, as they say. Let the camera roll. Now are you you know every single job on the crew, right? Did you learn every job when you were in disciplinary filmmaking? So you know how to run the boom, and you know all of the other little jobs, you know everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely some better than others. Like, you know, one of them was just, okay, that's not like you said, and with Mary Lou, like when you took that class, you're like, okay, yeah, directing's not for me, I'm in producing. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, I've held the boom, I've mic'd people up, but it's like, yeah, maybe not for me. You know, not that I hate it, but there's other things that I gravitate towards.
Right. Yeah, I was going to ask, what is your least favorite job of the crew position?
Oh, it would probably be sound, because I have weak arms, so they are stronger. They're stronger now, but
oh my God! Can you imagine holding that big boom?
I gotta give it to them.
Oh,
I gotta give it to them. Praise be to the boom ops.
They gotta come up with something. I mean, it's been decades and decades and decades, probably like over 100 years. Well, they didn't have boom mics back then, but it's been decades since the poor little boom guy's been holding that boom up. So
yeah, but I think the union wants them to keep their jobs, because you could probably get an AI robot to do it. But
yeah, we're going to talk about that.
They want their job security.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's one of the questions I have coming up for you. So recently, you portrayed Amelia Gomez in the Apple TV series For All Mankind. and you were a Martian lady. So tell us about the premise of. So I have some questions. As an actress, I bet you can remember every question I'm going to ask you, and you'll be able to repeat it back. I cannot remember one line. I'm lucky I can do one word. You're pushing it when you ask me to memorize a line, but a paragraph is out of the question. Don't even bother. So tell us about the premise of the show. Tell us about your role. How did you hear about the project? What was your audition session like? And how did you prepare for your role as a Martian? Okay, I definitely am not going to get you to remember all that. Let's start it off. Okay, tell us about the premise of the show.
I probably can't remember it all, but yeah.
All right, go. Let's see. Let's see what you
Challenge
can do.
So the premise of the show is, what if Russia had won the space race against the United States? So it's an alternate reality, and so the season starts back in the 60s. The season 1, it's going to go into its 5th season now. So so every season basically moves a decade or so up in time. So so that's the premise of the show. And I heard about it through my manager. I heard about the audition. It was actually over Christmas break. And
you remembered it. I was like, no, she didn't. Yes, you did. Okay.
So I got it over Christmas break, where I was hanging out with my favorite humans on the planet for Christmas. And we're still in self-tape land right now. It's getting less and less, but we're still in self-tape world. So even though I wasn't in California, I got to film my take on this character. And my sweet little cousin Elijah actually had a Guardians of the Galaxy, that leather jacket with the red trim on the top. And he's like 15, so I was like, "Can I wear your jacket for this audition?" Because it seemed like obviously space, Guardians of the Galaxy, and kind of Mars with the red. And he's like, "Yeah, because I had my suitcase of clothes. I didn't really have Martian attire."
Yeah.
So, and the way that they put up, because of all these NDAs and things, that actually put it up as a commercial audition for an untitled company. So had no idea it was for a TV show. And then you had a certain kind of interview style that you had to read into the camera. And I don't know, my instinct was, if I was a mechanic, a female mechanic on a foreign land, I'm gonna, my dad's a mechanic. So I grew up as a mechanic's daughter, and he's amazing, but he's definitely salt of the earth, straight shooter, not happy-go-lucky. And I'm gonna pitch this thing to you. So, I just kind of leveled with the script, and I just did it very I'm tired, but I like this job, and it gave me a lot of hope and opportunity. And I'm glad to be one of the first people on Mars to get the raw materials to bring it back to Earth and help humanity. And then when I think I booked it straight away, I don't think I even had a callback. And then when I spoke with the director and the producer on the set, on the Sony lot again, living the dream. I felt like Sandy Bullock in Gravity. There's a whole, they're like, okay, we're gonna get the hero shot, and I'm walking through all the thing. Oh, it was just so good. So, do not pinch me. I want to keep living this dream.
Yeah, exactly right.
But the director and producer said, what we really loved about your take is that it was very simple. They said a lot of people, and they could have been guided in the wrong direction, because they didn't tell us that it was for this drama show. They told us it was for commercials. So the instinct of commercials is upbeat. I'm going to sell you a thing. But my take stood out just for the realness, the real grittiness of the performance.
You went with a more natural approach as opposed to a theatrical one, which was the right choice. So you booked the role. How did you prepare for your role as a Martian? I mean, I don't even know what you would do. What did you do?
Oh, so when I booked the role, oh my gosh. So I lost my voice on New Year's, completely gone. like my husband and I both lost our voice completely, and I'm like, oh, I gotta shoot, I gotta shoot
At
this
the
film.
same time, you both lost your voice at the same time.
Yeah, I think we both caught the same thing, you know.
Oh.
So I'm doing all the home remedies, the tea, the lemon, the not talking, the, you know, everything.
Right,
And
right.
we had one day that was just without sound, that it was just like putting on the helmet, putting on the outfit, you know, all that. Still didn't have a voice. The producer wanted to talk to me on the phone, and I was like, oh, my phone's not working. Can I text you? So we texted, and then literally like 2 days before I was going to set, the voice came back. But you know, it was coming back slowly, but it fully came back 2 days before. So yeah, my prep work was like, you know, pulling the Madonna or Mariah Carey and doing all the remedies to up my immune system and get that going. And I didn't book the job because I work in aerospace, but I know we're going to get to that. I do also work in aerospace. So that's kind of a natural prep. Like I actually have flown in zero gravity, which we'll talk about. So they didn't know that till I got to set. And so at one point I'm on Mars, I'm on the suit, and I was like, you know, they're like, okay, kind of move around, like, you know, whatever. And I said, do you want me to act like Martian gravity? And they're like, not like you would know what that is. I'm like, actually I do. It's 1/8 of your body weight because we experienced that on the zero G plane. They were like, wait, what do you do? And then I told them that I do photography and cinematography and zero gravity. And they're like, oh, okay, we made the right choice. Yes, please.
Yeah. Wow. They're like, we also want you to work as our consultant and technical director after you finish your Martian role.
Please send this podcast to them because I am happy to do that.
Yes, exactly. Wow. So had you ever done a role as not just Martian, had you ever done an alien character before in any project?
Yeah, that's a good question. No, actually, I think this is my first interdimensional, interstellar questioning reality role.
From your interdisciplinary filmmaking career.
Right. That's right.
My God. And so I know you had started out talking about how I've never seen this show. I'm going to watch it, of course, now that you're in it. But so you're saying that time jumps every decade, 10 years. But you didn't say what the premise is of the show. Is it based on an astronaut's family? Is it based on the space program?
The show is based on if Mars won the space race and landed on the moon first. Right. So just
them living there and getting started and terraforming and stuff.
Well, it's all the politics, like starting from the 60s, because one thing there's this event, Yuri's Night, that I host. That's a big deal. It's the first cosmonaut, the first person who went to space, and he was a Russian. There's a lot of, you wouldn't think of it. You would think, oh, space race, cool, first man on the moon, especially like my age, who wasn't around for that. But there was a lot of politics involved of why it was so important for the United States or Russia to get to the moon first, because it was indicative of which form of government was more successful of uniting people to successfully complete something literally out of this world. So it was indicative, as a metaphor for if democracy was better or if communism was better. So that's why with this show, with the communists getting to the moon first, then it sets it up where like, okay, is the United States really the most powerful country in the world? And then it goes in all different facets, from like astronaut family life to the race. And then as it goes into the 90s and the aughts, it gets into like your Elon Musk type of company, which is the company I work for in the show is called Helios. And, like, do they team up with the government? Are they, opposite of the government? Like how, kind of like what we're experiencing now, like where things are blending and diverging and stuff like that. So it's very sci-fi heady, interesting alternate reality to question.
And who would we know off the top of your head? Who would we know that also stars on the show? Maybe a couple of the stars or co-stars that we would know.
Oh, I'm so bad with names, but let me see. I can look it up right now.
Okay.
But they did just get a spinoff, so they are going to do a spinoff. They announced last week, actually.
Oh
yeah. Okay, so Joel Kinnaman and Casey Johnson and Coral Pena. So those are some of the big series regulars on the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's got to be doing well to get a spinoff.
You get a spinoff in a new season. I'm like,
oh my God! Now,
let's expand my role, please.
This is what I was saying. Have they talked to you about possibly coming back? Like maybe you're one of the terror farmers, or you're one of the regulars.
I haven't heard anything yet, but you know, I'm putting
with your knowledge
space. I'm creating space for that to come to me.
Yes, and you've got all the space knowledge and the NASA knowledge. They should be bringing you back again, if anything, as a consultant. But you can just say, "Well, I will. I want to come on once in a while. I want to roll. You can have my consulting for free, right?" So you apparently just completed a supporting role in the streaming feature, The Centern. I could not find that on IMDb. Why?
I have not found it either yet. I don't know if they just haven't gotten around to putting it up. So we just, I booked it in January, and then we shot it like February. I think maybe they wrapped in March, because I wasn't there for the whole shooting schedule. So, I mean, my best guess is that they just haven't, the production manager, whomever puts it on IMDb hasn't gotten around to it yet. So it's in place.
Don't get me started with that. I have this.
Trust me, I want it up there.
I'm a micromanager, so I believe you should have your projects up in development, because these actors work so hard. The cast and crew, a lot of times, I don't know about this particular project, but a lot of times you get free work out of these people, 12, 16 hours. You could at least give them their credit on IMDb. Huge pet peeve for me, Tasha.
It does. It helps us get the next job,
Exactly. People put it on IMDb and give your people credit. If nothing happens to it, at least they'll have their credit on IMDb. So very perturbed about that. Okay. So let's answer some of the same questions as above, starting with the name, what the premise of the Centern is. I don't know if we'll ever see it. They don't have it on IMDb. This happens a lot in the business, people. You can work projects, as Tasha can tell you, as an actor, and then you never see it ever. Nothing ever happens with it. This is just a reality. So don't be upset when you come out here and you work your ass off and then nothing ever happens. So go ahead, Tasha.
This one, I would prefer to talk about my role, because I'm not, since it's not on IMDb yet, I'm not sure what I can say about the project. But it is a Tubi. It's a Tubi project, so it should get out there. It should.
That's right. That's right. So here's when I was trying to pull it up on IMDb, of course it didn't come up. So then I went to Google. I'm like, sure enough, it's going to be on Google, and it kept asking me, do you mean the intern? And I'm like, no, not the intern, the Centern. Do you mean the intern? Oh, I gave up. But okay, so let's talk about your role, the name of your character. Who were you?
Yeah, so I am a taqueria owner named Rita.
A what?
Taqueria owner.
What's a taqueria owner? Like tacos?
Yes, like tacos.
Okay.
A taqueria stand. So, like in Spanish, a taco stand is a taqueria.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, we learned something new here, people all across the land. All right, go ahead.
And that actually was shot in my home state, in Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah.
We shot my role in Mesa. I'm in the opening scene for sure. And that one, the audition was also pretty interesting. So, the life of an actor can be hurry up and wait and nothing, and then intense. And this wonderful casting director that has called me in many times and called me back for things, and is a wonderful woman out in Arizona. She's like, I hate to do this to you. She emailed me, as I'm getting ready to go to the airport to get on a plane again, she's like, I have a same day audition for you. We're trying to cast this role and we need it cast like right away and blah, 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 blah. Can you get it to me by 6 p.m.? I'm like, literally getting ready to leave for the airport. And I'm like, oh, me, I'm always like, challenge accepted. Because when opportunity, what is it? Luck is when opportunity meets talent or something.
Yeah, talent.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I am going to do my very best to get it. And she knows I'm solid. So that's why she calls me in a lot. And so I always bring my tripod with me. So I have like a little mini Amazon tripod. And thank goodness I act like the one person that is happy that they had a layover. So I was going to Washington State. I had a layover in Sacramento, a 20-minute layover. First of all, thank goodness the gates were like right next to each other. Okay. Now, everyone here has been to an airport, I'm sure. You know how busy it is with people in the background, lots of noises, announcements, paging Dr. Smith, your flight's gonna go, you know. So I have to try to find a blank wall that's also not windows that are backlit with planes in the background. So, and this is the second audition I've done in an airport, by the way. This is not my first airport audition.
Well, you're the first person I've talked to that's done an audition in an airport 2 times, even one. Wow.
That's how crazy I am. So
yeah, well, that I think you're an opportunist, and I just want people listen to what Tasha said. She carries around a tripod. So my tip is carry around a tripod like Tasha does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, you know, you have your phone, like I said, my phone is a really excellent film for shooting, which is
what do you have, by the way? Because Albert is a phone fanatic.
Yeah, this is a Samsung Android Ultra 23 Plus that Ridley Scott shot a movie on. So you know it's good if Ridley likes it.
Okay, yeah, all right.
So so I had a 20-minute layover. Okay, trying to find a blank wall. Next time you go to an airport, look, see where you can find a blank wall. I dare you. So I happened to find in between the two gates, there was this one little alcove, kind of by the restaurants where people were going in and out. And there was like an old, like kind of phone, you know how we don't have like landline phones anymore, but there was like an old kind of thing that I could put the tripod on, like a little area for people to use the phone. So it was a little private. You still hear the messages. People are still walking through from the restaurant. So I had like the hour to memorize my lines for the scene. And it's a dialogue scene. Okay. So I had to do that. I had to make 2 sharp choices based on the notes the casting director gave me. Okay, like that follow her what she wants, but also different to stand out, right? Something crazy and different. So actually the pressure helped me to just like focus and do it as opposed to doing it a bunch of times and trying this and trying that. Like I had to get it. I had to nail it, you know? So so then I set up my thing. And then like, I'm trying to shoot my thing and I'm like holding the space of where the other actor is supposed to talk because I don't have time to get anyone to do it with me. So I do my thing. Then like people are walking in the background. So I stop and I wait, or like the announcement goes off. So I stop the camera and wait. And I had only like maybe 4 clean takes to like get. So I get the take. Then I'm going on the plane. So I'm on the plane. And before they tell us to turn the phone off, I'm recording in my editing app my voice that I then pitch filter so that it doesn't sound like my voice. You know, like I recorded the other dialogue and then I changed the voice so it sounded like somebody else.
I've never done that. I have no idea what you're talking about at all.
Yeah, and then I just edited the scenes, you know, shrunk them down, sent them to her like right as they were like, okay, turn off your phones. And and then I got the call back with the director and we tried it multiple ways. That was later. And I did the job and I got to go to set.
Isn't that amazing? You are an adrenaline junkie. You live. And I think
do like
that
adventure.
all these situations they're navigating themselves to you. They're like, hey, Tasha's up for it. Let's throw this at her. Yeah, she'll like this. Oh, it's like you've got a whole team on another plane but plane that you know, another plane that's coming in and giving you all these challenges and adventures and opportunities because they know you're up for it. So
well, I like to look at life as a game, as a video game, which is why you mentioned Beverly Pomerantz, who cast game shows. That's how I met her. I've been on a number of game shows too.
Oh
So.
my God! Yes. We were just hanging out at a fair. My friend was performing it on stage for one of these fairs, and Beverly showed up. And don't we love Beverly? Oh, she's casting for the game show for Chileo White. Remember the guy that was Urkel from?
Oh,
yeah. What was that show called?
Family Matters.
Family Matters. Yes. Yeah. Oh, God, look at you, sharp as a tack.
I love comedy.
We
could talk about Three's Company all day. I love comedy.
Yes. Show? Well, it was so funny because my friend AJ came to visit me. I moved to California in 92, and in 94, my friend AJ came to visit me, and we went to Universal City Walk. And who do we run into? Chileo White. Of course, I didn't know his real name. I just knew him as Urkel, which I think he didn't mind.
Sure he loves that.
He didn't mind. But we're like, Urkel! And of course, he took pictures with my friend's camera, it was a state-of-the-art camera. Like, we took pictures back then. There were no phones to take pictures. And we were going to... So he was very nice, and he took pictures with us, and I was so happy, and I was going to send everybody those pictures. Sure enough, we're standing in line to get on a game show, and no, not a game show, on a late night talk show, I think Arsenio Hall, and we were parked outside the studio, and someone broke into his car and stole his camera, and we never got those pictures.
Oh, no.
So I told Beverly, I said, I don't want to be on the game show, but I want to come on the set and then say,
can I get a redo?
Can I get another picture? Yeah, please.
But you'll have to go up to him and go, did I do that?
Did I do that? Exactly. Oh, you have such a great memory. I didn't even remember that for a second. But yeah, she's casting for that. So I've sent her a lot of people. Oh, cool. And hopefully she never stops fascinating me. Okay, so everywhere we go, or she goes, that I've witnessed to, she is lining up her next game show contestants. Like yesterday at the fair, and she's over there, like, she met all these people, and she's given, getting their contact information. And I think you're a similar person, that you're always kind of lining up your opportunities, right? You're getting your ducks in a row. You're already thinking about things way in advance. And I think that that's the difference between a lot of actors making it and being successful like you, and just kind of giving up and going back to Ohio or, somewhere, because they don't know the intensity that's involved. You are an entrepreneur. You have to think about what you're going to be doing. You are the marketing department, the promotion department, the accounting department, the sales department. You're every department. You're an entrepreneur. And a lot of actors think they're going to come out here with $50 in their pocket and they're going to be a star. Now, of course, I have heard of that happening, but you got to be a special somebody, right? And it's usually related to looks. A couple of my celebrity friends actually came out here and were invited to a party. There were casting directors and agents there, and they became stars and ended up being A-list celebrities. So it does happen, but don't bank on that. And they're the ones who didn't even really want to be actors. They came out here wanting to be musicians, and they ended up being A-list actors. But don't bank on that. So I like how you are always looking for your next opportunity. And a lot of people.
I actually hate the word entrepreneur. I'm like, but what I've decided, my husband and I we're entrepreneurs. Because we're always on the bleeding edge. Like, we do crypto. We're learning AI. Like, we're learning how to work with AI.
Don't go into that because that is coming up after we watch your video.
Okay.
And now, since we've talked about a couple of your shows, I want to show your demo clips. Now, I just want the audience to know that there might be encore presentations. We've decided on that word. We got, I think, about 4 videos. I don't know what Albert, our technical director, did with that, but be prepared. And who doesn't want to see Tasha 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times? I mean, come on now. All right, so let's play some of her. This is a combination of demo reels that we're going to watch with Tasha as the star. And when we come back, we're going to find out more about Tasha. So hit it, Albert.
My life was stalling out. The factories were shutting down. The shops were closing. I just felt trapped. I never imagined I was tough enough to go 1,000,000 miles from home. Helios gave me new skills, new confidence, basically built a whole new me. Today, I'm setting foot on Mars for the first time. Tomorrow, who knows where I'll go.
Detective, got a stiff down at the docks, likely OD, last name Gosney.
This is Tigre Ramirez in Chula Vista, where I'm getting some insider home buying tips at the local office of San Diego realtor Bonnie Goodson.
Is this the kind of crap you guys eat when I'm not around? You heard, Mom. This crap is not good for you. What? Hey, what about Tweedledee and Tweedledum?
I'm offended. I'm not dumb.
Of course you're not, honey. And I need you to step up for the next 2 nights. Next 2 nights?
I had to pick up the next 2 nights.
I don't want to be stuck at home looking after these dimwits.
You won't be stuck at home. You'll be taking your sister trick-or-treating.
Oh.
Say cheese.
Okay, let me see. Oh, that's great. Oh, okay, I gotta go or I'm gonna be late. Only call me if there's an emergency. It's gonna be a crazy night at work tonight. Don't worry, Mom, we'll be fine.
Just so we're clear, I haven't broken any laws. My relationship with Brantley is completely legal.
What kind of relationship is that?
I'm his financial dominatrix. Do you have a 20? Some men prefer to be controlled where it hurts the most. Their wallet.
What are you doing?
Didn't enjoy that? Then you probably don't need my services.
Brantley Johnson doesn't need your services either.
What do you mean? Please don't hurt me. I'll do anything.
In another world, in another life, we could have had beautiful children together.
Oh my God!
The doctor's in the house, thank you.
Honey, is he really here or is this just a dream?
We've been waiting for a while, can you tell?
So, you can tell me what's going on.
Yes, okay. Well, for a few weeks, I've had a lot of terrible pain down here. It's just been getting worse.
Yeah, we raised the force field, if you know what I mean, around it. What?
Stop. We haven't had sex in 3 weeks.
I'll be right back.
Okay, be right back, please.
Yes, I will.
What the hell is going on here?
Okay, just because he found a condom doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything. What, so it just curled up there by itself?
Okay, you know what? That's it.
What, you gonna fight me now?
Yes, I am. Maybe I just want to get rid of you.
You'll see how strong he is. And he gets that from you.
I need help! Help!
Your first home can be a little intimidating, but with a California realtor, you have a trusted advisor by your side. Welcome to Yuri's Night 2023. I'm Tasha Perez Dixon, your host for the evening. We are here with one of the original cast members of Star Trek, Walter Koenig. Welcome to Yuri's Night.
Thank you. You've got a wonderful sculptured face. It's so perfect.
From your lips to Spielberg's ears. I'm Tasha Dixon for WSI.TV, inviting you on a journey to check out some art and culture from around the world. You have a partner, Crosspath Culture in South Africa. Could you tell us more about that? If you would like more information about upcoming events, log on to their website at crosspathculture.org. Hey there, I'm Tasha Dixon. Your last chance to win $1,000 is coming up during News 15 at 10. Over $100,000 have been given away. You could be next. See you soon, and remember, this is your last chance to win.
They are vacationing in Italy right now. She's sweet. I get these urges. Cow. Right in the face. This isn't the first time my husband cheated on me. There were others before her. You know, even in the most perfect marriages, couples pretend. There usually is denial on both sides. He just didn't want to pretend anymore. Can I show you something? See this little scar? He bit me because it was so passionate. He just couldn't get enough of me. I follow this scar every night. Thinking about how
my goodness. See, I was just getting into that last one. I love that one. That was fun. Wow, that was intense. Did you say, because the sound was so low on that one, did you say he bit you on your breast?
Yeah.
He nibbled it? Ooh.
That was from 9 Perfect Strangers, which is an amazing show with Nicole Kidman and Melissa McCarthy.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember that. Oh, wow. Oh my God, nibbled it. Wow. Now I like a little nibbling, so I don't know what you were complaining about. No. Oh my God. Well, gosh, as everybody can see from your demo reels, you're a phenomenal actress. You're so natural. You're so good. You're so present and diverse. You can do comedy. You can do drama. You can do, that I can see where they put that title of the role that you were auditioning for as maybe commercial, because you were doing a scene kind of like you were doing a commercial, even though it was more like maybe a part of a documentary. But I can see why they titled it that, because you were talking about it in that manner. But God, so diverse. You must be very happy with your body of work, right?
You're gonna make me cry.
But it's true. Is there any, because you've been doing it a while now, and I know you actors have dream roles that you want to do. What is your dream role and why? Like, some women want to be a vampire. Some women want to be like a werewolf. Some women want, you know what I'm saying? Some actors, they just want that dream role. What's your dream role?
So here come the tears. Why
do I always make people cry? Every time I talk to someone, there's tears. I just met this lovely girl, Beverly Pomerantz's friend from France, and I've never seen her before. Met her the first time at Chin Chin, and she came up to me at the end of the night and she said, "Can I hug you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And then when she was crying, and I said, why are you crying? And she said, there's something magical about you, that when you speak, you draw out these feelings from me, and you just made me feel like crying. I'm like, oh my God, what a legacy to have, making people cry all over the place. I want to make them laugh and feel happy, not be crying everywhere. What am I, the Pied Piper of tears? What the hell? But, that's good because it moved you, because I think you tapped in to a reality that sometimes we're doing our best work and we're trying, but not everybody in this business is genuinely complimentary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, you look great. Oh, you're so good. Oh. It's like, come on. You say the same thing to the 50 million people you just left at lunch. But I think that when a person is being genuine as an actor of your caliber, you can really sense that it's true, and it makes you feel good that you're being validated for the excellent work that you're putting forth.
Yeah, it's just it's hard, that's why like even all the celebrity actors tell their kids, no, we don't want you to do acting, because and even more now than ever, it's like you're screaming into the void. It's always been kind of like that, but then even with the self-tapes and stuff, you do all this effort and you're really putting your heart on the line and you're bearing your soul, and it's really hard. It's taken me many years because I'm so oversensitive. My mom sent me to New York to live with my brother for a year and a half because she's like, Tasha, it'll toughen up your shell. It did not.
Yeah.
I had a great time, but it did not.
If anything, you were probably wounded, damaged, and tail-tucked by the time you got back here.
I loved my time in New York, but I look at my oversensitivity as a superpower. Because it does help me get into the shoes. I'm very empathic and get into the shoes of other people. That's why I like to tell stories, and I love to, in whatever job I'm doing, I love to motivate people to be the best versions of themselves, and I can see their potential. And for someone to see my potential, because like I feel like I'm yelling on deaf ears and nobody's watching it, or they watch 5 seconds. So it just really, like, you make me feel like, because you're always, this is the Olympics of acting. This is the Olympics of filmmaking in Los Angeles. So you're always going for the brass ring, you're going for the gold. And there's so many other factors that aren't you, but it's still you that you're putting on there if you're being authentic. So it's just very like soul replenishing. Not that I need the validation, but it's just like, oh, I can rest easy. My thoughts of feeling I'm good is like reciprocated, and you watching it,
Yes. And when it comes from you as an actor, you can tell when people are being sincere or when they're just being a blowbag, right? When people are telling you things and it's for real, rather than, oh my God, you were so great. Oh, I love that role you did. I hear that so much. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, totally.
So I guess it's really good to get genuine compliments. They're rare out here in this business. A lot of people don't understand that. So let's talk about let's hold on. What do? You film people in zero gravity. Tell us how that is happening for you.
Okay. Yes. So I have many, many jobs. Like I said, I love adventure and I love variety. So I work for a company called Zero G. So, as a entrepreneur, I have many different jobs that I take on. And so from time to time, we have one plane in the country that flies to different spots around the nation. And we give people a weightless experience. So our plane does these parabolas like this, which many movies have trained on our plane, like The Matrix back in the day. They trained like how to do that bullet scene. They trained through experiencing lunar gravity mainly, to like how to kind of fall back without falling. They didn't shoot it there, but they did train there. Also, Apollo 13 did some training through us. One of my first jobs was filming The Bachelorette. She had an episode where she took one of the guys on a date. And so I had to do the photography, and then they had their own videographer doing the filming. And we do consumer flights, which are about 10 grand, which sounds expensive, but if you consider actually doing what William Shatner did, going into space with SpaceX or with Virgin Galactic, that's $450,000. So we're kind of the deal in the terms of the spaceflation market.
Wow. Now he didn't have to pay $450,000 because they would have.
He's Bill. Are you kidding me?
He's not going to pay 1 cent, right? But I imagine
He just said, "Beat me up, Scotty. Beat me up, Elon."
Just take me on up there. But so are you saying that a regular person, if they have the money, they can get on? How much would it be for just a average Joe?
So the average Joe is 10,000.
And so it would be 10,000.
Sometimes we have a deal going where it's $9,000. And so we have regular, consumers. We have everyone from like 6 years old to, we've had a 90-year-old go up there. We've flown Elon Musk. We flew Stephen Hawking before he passed away. We've done some really great things with differently abled people, as we like to say, that have gone up and done experiments because they want to make space travel all access for anybody, whether you're missing a leg or you can't hear.
DEI, baby, DEI. So are you saying, wait, I can't process this because this is like my dream come true.
Are you questioning reality right now?
I'm questioning. Yeah, you're so sharp. Look at you, little tact.
Look, call back.
Wait a minute. So you work for a company called Zero G, and for $10,000, I could come to the company and say, "Hey, I want to go up into, is it the stratosphere?"
No, so it's so we fly between 30 and 50,000 feet, I want to say. So it's
but don't you got to go higher than that to get to zero gravity?
No. So what we do is so it's a cargo plane and there's 30 seats in the back. So for takeoff and landing, it's like a regular flight. You have to have a seat and be buckled in. But then the rest of the plane has rubber mats around it. So I like to say it's a rubberized room that I finally fit in. And so once we reach 30,000 feet, you can now take off your seatbelts and move around the cabin. And so we have everybody, we give people flight suits like Tom Cruise, like Top Gun, and you get to keep them. And then
I hope so for $10,000.
If you come through me, if you're my friend, I can probably get you a little bit of a discount. It's still going to be a pretty penny, but I can get you a discount.
So are you floating in like?
Yeah.
How is it that you're floating? It's just 30,000 feet.
So what happens is at 30,000 feet, everybody gets up. We have them lay on the floor of the rubber mats. Only freaks of nature like us can stay standing up and walking because we don't get sick. We have iron stomachs. And basically the plane, if you've ever been on the Gravitron, speaking of like a carnival you went to, the old carnival rides that spin like this and you stick to the wall. So we have people lay on the floor so they don't get sick. And then the plane goes up like this. So it's raising altitude to about 50,000, maybe 60,000 feet. And then it comes over the crest. And then we have all the windows blocked off except the emergency exit one. So you don't see, but like we're basically kind of nose diving a little bit towards the ground. And then that's when you experience weightlessness. So you just feel like that's your stomach, like when you're going in the car and you're on a little hill. And then you just rise up and you're floating in zero gravity. Your hair's flying all over the place. And I'm getting pictures. Like it's like a parent that gets a kid's first steps. I get to get people's first flight. And it's like the faces you see of everybody just so, I mean, just imagine to be able to levitate like Yoda, it's the best feeling ever. So we do these parabolas about 15 times. So how
long does that last where you're weightless like a zero gravity?
Yeah, so the weightlessness lasts between 30 and 45 seconds per parabola. And then you come down gently and then you lay down again. And so we'll do 5 in a row, take a break so everybody can kind of recover and reset and stuff. And then we do 5 more. So I think total airtime, maybe you get around 7 minutes of airtime. It's just interrupted because of the parabolas.
Okay, so $10,000 for 7 minutes, the going up, the weightlessness, and then the coming back. But you only get to do it one time.
One flight, yes.
One flight.
And then if you're a research flight, because NASA doesn't do this anymore, so we have the contract for NASA, SpaceX, Virgin Galactic. So anyone who's going to fly through them or wants to make equipment that's going to go to space and see how it works in zero gravity, we have research flights. So then we take the mats out and we bolt down their research equipment. And then those flights can be like 30 to 40 parabolas in a row, where they're going up and then they're testing their, lasers or hydraulic equipment or whatever it might be to see what the effects are before they actually send it up in space.
Right. Well, do you think the company eventually is going to expand where they're actually going to take the people up where you can experience what the astronauts have the zero gravity?
Well, so we contract with SpaceX and definitely Virgin Galactic for sure. So anyone who's going to fly on the suborbital Virgin Galactic, it's also like a 7 minutes in heaven experience. It's just all at the same time. It's 7 minutes that you're up there for 400.
Yeah.
But part of that ticket they pay for includes a flight with our company so that they can get used to zero gravity, so that they're not spending their whole time on their $450,000 flight amazed by that, and they're also looking out at space.
Yeah.
So that's how we contribute. We work with those companies to prepare people, and also to make sure they're not going to be sick, because who wants to spend $450,000?
Well, how do you know? How do you know if you're going to be sick if you've never done it before? How would you know? Is there any pre-testing?
Well, so basically what we say is if you don't get sick on a boat, the odds are you're not going to get sick. So even if you get car sick, it's a different kind of experience in your vestibular system. So it's mainly if you get sick on a boat, this might not be for you. And then we have ginger gum. We advise people if they want to take Dramamine, we provide that also in the morning. We give a light breakfast to kind of settle the stomach so it's not acidic. So we do all kinds of things too. And in my mind, my perspective, so much of it is mental. So part of my job is not only capturing the pictures, but in the beginning, if I see someone who seems nervous, I put them at ease, I comfort them, I tell them how exciting it is. Because if you can change, just like with acting, if you can change your nervousness into excitement, then you can still have the feelings, but you can channel it into a positive instead of building it up in your head, and the anxiety that can make you sick,
Right. Well, I imagine that a ton of celebrities have done this. Anybody that you could tell us that loved it and then said, "Oh my God, I got to come back"? And everybody about it. Who?
My first flight, first or second flight actually, was with the band Imagine Dragons. So the whole band, they did a charity event, and then the top two fan donors that donated the most money to their charity got to come to do zero G with them. And like I said, I like to make people feel at ease before the flight. I was asking the lead singer, I was like, "So what's the most adventurous, coolest thing you've done?" And he's like, "Oh, skydiving for sure." And then we did this. And then at the end of this, I'm like, "What's the coolest thing you've done?" He's like, "Oh, it was this. I want to figure out how to do like a music video, or like come back and do it again and bring my wife." So it's like nothing you've ever experienced. It's completely unique.
I didn't even know that existed until you just told me about it. I had not even heard of it. Now I'm going to look it up. I'm going to do research. I'm going to tell my celebrity friends about it.
Oh, please send them to me, and I'll hook them up. I'll hook them up with some.
Okay. I'm going to say, reach out to Tasha. So you make those arrangements, right? So
and if you're talking big bucks, like for a show or a music video, people can charter the plane also. And then they can deck it out however they want. Like there's a commercial online. I forget the name of the beverage company, but they did it was really cool looking. I wasn't on this commercial, unfortunately, but they dressed up all in like black light, neon green, and they had like glow sticks, and they had a DJ on the plane, and it was for like this beverage. And so they shot that a few years ago on the zero gravity plane. So we like blacked out the plane and then just decked it out however they wanted, put a DJ booth, bolted it into the ground. And so if there's some cool movie or some sort of promo people want to do, like they can totally
Oh my gosh. So I guess it's zerog.com, but We'll have them contact Tasha.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
oh
how you
my
get the
God.
special deal.
That's right. You get 1,000 knocked off, right? So I'm excited because I wanted to go up into space and float around like the astronauts until I found out the reality of where they go to the bathroom and they drink, they have to drink their own urine, and there's stuff that people don't know. People admire astronauts and the glamour is great, but they don't know about they don't question the reality. You got me started now.
That's right.
About, they have to drink their own urine, and about, having to go to the bathroom to do other things. And it is not the glamour that you think it is. Plus there's sickness and stuff, but that's hardcore astronaut, like way out.
That's a full-on space pirate.
That's a space adventure. But then I said, no, I'll just watch other people do it. Okay. So now I want to talk about it. What my favorite when I met you and I found out that you were Miss Arizona, I said, oh, because when you're a little girl and you're like, I want to be Miss America, I want to be a beauty pageant. So I had never met anyone up until I met you that had actually won a beauty pageant. And I was just beyond. I told everybody, all my family members, I had to tell them about it. And they had all these questions. I said, well, I didn't ask all those questions. But so let's show the picture. I couldn't find any pictures. These are the only ones I could find. I couldn't find any because it was a while back, but I'm like, where are you? Are you in there?
Is this 2001? That's when I was in it.
Is that, oh, I see. So we don't know what year this is. Okay. So this may not be, these girls don't look familiar, right?
No, they do not.
Okay.
There you are. Oh, no.
Was that you during 2001 during the pageant?
That was a little bit later, but yeah.
Oh, okay, well, they have a split screen, and then let's go to the next one.
He did on the pageant.
The one up at the top. Right.
Yeah, that was when I was Miss Hispanic Arizona. So the first pageant I won was Miss Hispanic.
Oh my God, I did not get one. I found these on Google and they were all grouped together like this. I didn't put these together. Funny. These were all clumped together like that. And I could not find any picture of, I couldn't remember the year that you were Miss Arizona. And so I kept typing it, but that's all that came up was you and Donald Trump and these pageant girls and this. And I'm like, where is she in the bikini? Where is her evening dress pictures? Why can I not find it? So I was very perturbed. I couldn't find the evening dress, the bikini pictures, what other, they had, how many looks? They had the evening dress, the bikini, or the swimsuit. And what's the other look they have?
Well, we do an interview. Yeah, evening wear. We do an interview, but that's behind the scenes.
All right. So now I want you to satiate me here. All right. So how did you end up even wanting to run for Miss Arizona?
Okay. So
was it a dream?
So so I got a full ride scholarship to Arizona State for my academics. Before I wanted to be a filmmaking, I wanted to be a biochemist. So I'm also you're not so secretly a super nerd. So so I was super shy. I got made fun of in school because I was always sitting at the front of the class, and I was on all the AP classes for math and science and all of that. So I got picked on a lot, and that created a complex. I couldn't look people in the eye. I was always looking down. And then I did a play actually at Valley Youth Theater, which is where Emma Stone also performed. She's also an Arizona girl. My girl winning the Oscar. If I can't win it, I'm happy she did.
Yeah.
So so I auditioned for this play just as a favor to a friend because a friend didn't want to audition alone. I got cast as the lead, which was Sleeping Beauty, and then I fell in love with acting because we would go out kind of like Disney characters after and sign autographs. And I was like, doing the thing. And a little boy came up all happy. And then the mom had tears in her eyes and she came over and pulled me aside and she said, "This means so much to us. My son's father is dying of cancer in the hospital. And this is the first time we see him lit up and happy. And oh, like I still just, it gives me chills. And I was like, okay, I want to do that. I want to impact people that way. So I shifted my focus to acting, but I still couldn't look people in the eye because my mom is a proud Cuban Puerto Rican, and she'd be like, "Oh, my daughter is amazing. Look at my daughter." I'm like, "Mom, stop." And she's like, "No, people need to know you're amazing." And I'm like, oh. So my mom was like, "Tasha, if you're going to be an actress, you need to look people in the eye." So there's this pageant, which was I was the first ever Miss Hispanic Arizona. It was the first one because they were trying to get more diversity into Miss USA, not so many just white girls. And so I was like, okay. Didn't invite a soul, didn't invite my best friend, didn't invite my boyfriend at the time. I ended up winning. And then, so that automatically entered me into Miss Arizona. So I went from no pageants to all of a sudden this whirlwind of preparing for Miss Arizona USA, which is the Miss Universe track, if you've seen Miss Universe on television. And Miss USA. So I got in shape and all of this stuff. And then I ended up winning Miss Arizona, I guess like the youngest you could win. Like they all kept saying, "Oh, this will be a great practice year for you because, they like the women to be a certain age and it's so-and-so's year." I was like, "It's so-and-so's year. Does that mean it's rigged?" I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right, challenge accepted. Let's go. And, I competed in Miss Arizona and I won that like on the first year. And then boom, I'm going to Miss USA, within the year of starting my whole pageant career, as it were. And then, I did pretty good. I was like able to like pick the fishbowl, like the finalists that picked the fishbowl question out, which is how I got to talk to good old Bill Shatner.
That's right.
Yeah, and so that was my whirlwind of pageant year, going to Miss USA representing Arizona, and I like to think I'm still the queen of Arizona a little bit. I love it much, and I want it to, be doing good things. And the film industry is starting to kick over there. They're giving some film incentives, and it's a beautiful state that I really, there's a lot of beauty in it.
What goes on behind the scenes of those competitions? Are those like, obviously most people have seen Miss Congeniality, props up to Sandra Bullock, but is it anything like that movie, Miss Congeniality? Is it? They've got to be nicer than that. I just find it hard to believe that people are catty like that. I
mean, cliches are cliches for a reason. So here's the thing that people don't realize. When you get to Miss USA, you have one shot. You have one bite at the apple. You can't keep competing. Once you win a state, that's it. You only get one chance and you're out. And so you have people who have been competing since diapers, who are like, if you remember Jean-Benet Ramsey, like little diapers. And
Honey Boo Boo!
Honey Boo Boo! So the pressure is intense. Like, you think the pressure is intense, like in the film industry for acting and stuff. There's other opportunities always coming. But for the pageants, when you get to the national level, you have one shot. And it really is one of the ways, just like the NBA is a way that people can break out of their social class. They can get out of their small town. They can, if they have the looks or the interview or something going for them, it's their shot to get an opportunity. Yeah. So some people are so driven, and also some of the moms, so, pageant moms is a thing that they drive and push and drive them so hard. It's the Olympics of pageants. So it's not the majority by any means, but there was one or two women that were not cool, and when they didn't get as far as they thought they would, other girls were happy because they were very mean to the other contestants, who are so nice, and most of them are so nice and so sweet. So, but it's kind of like I feel like anything, if you get 50 people in a room, there's probably going to be one jerk.
Yeah, I used to watch Toddlers and Tiaras, and of course Dance Moms, and I felt like maybe there might have been people. Maybe that's the way it was backstage. I don't know if you watch Toddlers and Tiaras, but it was about beauty pageants, children. And it was very controversial because apparently a lot of people thought that it was a bad thing to enter your children in beauty pageants. I was all for it. I think that it builds social skills, team building skills, interpersonal skills, all kinds of skills. And I think that it does more. I think it does more good than harm. I can see where some of them were having meltdowns and it might have caused some issues for them when they were get older. But I think for the most part, if their mothers were normal, I think they kept them regulated.
Yeah.
And just had them think, well, it's just for fun. It's to build your confidence. It's for some financial opportunities for your college. And they didn't go crazy. That's where I was introduced to, I hope you don't laugh, but I loved Honey Boo Boo when I watched Toddlers and Tiaras. Oh my God. And then when they did the spinoff, I learned about spaghetti with hot dogs in it. I'm like, what? And I learned about the whole world of Honey Boo Boo. And now I followed it on to Mama June. I'm not ashamed to say it. I love them. And but I learned a lot about pageants. And I that is the first time I found out about flippers. You know, that flippers are when you're a child and you're missing your teeth, they give you flippers. They're like fake teeth, because if your child is like 7 years old, the baby teeth are gone and you can't enter the pageant, you know.
Oh no.
And they had flippers. I'm like, oh my God, I love the idea.
They give them like little dentures. They're like little baby dentures.
Little dentures. Yeah. So your teeth you have teeth. And I thought, oh my God, my grandmother had 2 sets of false teeth. She would have loved the whole flipper thing, because you just put your flipper in. So I just loved it. Tasha girl. But that must have been so exciting, and you must have been so proud being Miss Arizona. Oh,
I wrote a book for kids, an activity book, and I went to juvenile detention centers and schools and reservations. I went on the res to really just help be a role model for minorities and people struggling. And like I'd go into the juvie centers, and it's not like, oh, come do pageants, but it was like, it was called Ready, Set, Go for your goals. So I explained how I had these big goals, but then I'd figure out these little rungs of a ladder, because it can look overwhelming and daunting. But if you just take it like plan step by step, and you can stay focused, and that's what a lot of people need. And also like with diversity and minorities, especially because I'm a first generation American on my mom's side, and my dad was a mechanic. So like when I was 7 or 9, my dad sat me down and he said, look, Mommy and I decided Mommy was going to stay home to raise you, and I'm going to work, but I'm a mechanic. So if you want to go to college, we're not going to be able to afford to send you. And so from that age, that impressionable age, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get straight A's. I'm going to get in Project Potential. I'm going to do Honor Society. I'm going to do this and this and this. And then I got my scholarship was from my smarts, not from doing pageants, And also I applied I had the knowledge to apply for Hispanic scholarships, which one of my mentors, Liz Torres, who's a great sitcom actress from the 70s.
Yes, I remember her, Archie Bunker. She was a regular.
That's right. Yeah. So she was on the board to grant me the Hispanic Heritage Scholarship for the Arts. And then I reconnected with her doing the Latinx Anne Frank play out here. She's a friend of Stan's and came to the show, and now we're friends. We're friends again, and it's just like, I love when things come full circle and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad to hear a success story from pageants, because a lot of times they just don't take advantage of the opportunities, because they're given from what I understand, they're given certain opportunities. You're given, because you were a winner, you're given certain opportunities, but after those opportunities fizzle out, you don't piggyback on that for any other kind of opportunities, which you could ride off the title of Miss Arizona for a long time. You could ride the wave. So I'm glad that you had a lot of success from that. Wow, that's amazing. Now let's talk about what did you mean by this? My Wizard on the Lot personal project.
Yeah. So like I said, I've written and developed a couple of different screenplays. So one of them is besides Sandra Bullock, I've also gotten compared to Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz, like when she was in The Wizard of Oz, because I'm a stars in my eyes, like rose-colored glasses kind of person, and my favorite color is blue, turquoise. So I developed a screenplay with a friend of mine who's a Nichols Award-winning WGA fantastic writer. And we made a project that's a comedy about a time-traveling Judy Garland and what it means. I love it because it's steeped in the history of things that actually happened behind the scenes in The Wizard of Oz, but then she ends up getting stuck in 2024 or 2025, if we make it in 25, and how she's going to find her voice to get back there. But what you think is her voice to get the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow to stay in the movie actually ends up being something different in modern day for her to get back. So it's kind of, if you saw the new Wonka, it's a little Wonka-esque, but not musically, not a musical.
Okay.
Lots of comedy, pratfalls. So that's my next personal project.
That's your personal project?
Yeah.
And where are you? Are you in pre-production or is it still in your conceptualization stage?
Oh, so we have the script, we have the pitch deck. So now it's about, getting a producer and the financing and making it. That's
what's your idea? Is it going to be a short?
A feature.
It's going to be a full feature.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited about that. Are there any Christmas scenes in there? Okay.
We can talk.
Yeah, let's talk about a Christmas scene. Now you wanted to talk about your thoughts on the state of the industry. What did you mean by that?
Oh, well, I just thought it would be, because we had the strike, which, we had COVID.
And was it directors, actors, and writers, right?
Yeah. I don't think the directors went on strike, but they were in support. But it was the writers and the actors who were on strike. First the writers and then the actors joined. Which, first COVID was very detrimental. Then the strike. And then now coming back, it's been slow because the other unions have yet to negotiate. But now it's seeming like those unions are coming around so that there might not be a strike, because the word was the studios were withholding shows because they were worried of another stop workage happening. But it seems like things are getting ironed out and things are starting to happen again. Yeah. Fingers crossed. So, I just wanted to put some positivity out there that we can get some good, because I feel like every time I book something good, I'm like, yes, this is my chance to like you said, work on it to get to the next thing. And then it's like, nope, there's a strike. Okay. And then I booked this Tubi thing and it's like, okay, now I got this thing. Let's go. Where's the next thing? And it's like, oh, nope, there might be another strike. So, sometimes it gets hard to keep the hope alive.
Yeah. I don't know what of course, I've heard so many. I don't know if you've heard this, the whispers of lots of people, producers and directors and studio executives. There's so many people that are whispering about the CGI replacing actors completely in less than 25 years. What are your thoughts of that?
I think it's going to be sooner than that, honestly. I don't want that to be the case.
No, but look how good they did with Princess Leia in, I don't remember the movie off the top of my head, I guess Star Wars.
Star Wars,
and there was the Indiana Jones where they made him look like he was in the first Indiana Jones, and I'm like, oh my God, that's not CGI. No, that's not CGI. That's not. But I mean, in some places you can see it, but in a lot of places, I was totally fooled for a couple seconds. And technology is only going to get better and better and better. And of course, I have a couple friends that work for the studios, and they said, Priscilla, you don't know what it's like dealing with actors and directors. You just don't know. It's an emotional industry, and everybody is hypersensitive and tempers flare and this, and then people can't agree. I think that's like most of the planet, not just the entertainment industry. But they said we really would love to see the industry go in that direction, because there's so much you can do, obviously, with CGI. So the voice actors, it might be your time. You might want to think about switching to being voiceover, because they're still going to need the voiceover. But then I thought, oh my God, no, yeah, because they can do the voices now, right?
No, voice acting is the first to go. They've nailed the voices. Like, it's crazy. Like, my husband made me a love song and had it made in all the different genres. And like, to say the AI doesn't have soul, like, he did a song with like a soulful, like Aretha Franklin voice, a heavy metal, like Metallica voice, like pop, like Taylor Swift. And it's like, it's there. And you're like, oh, really? And it like helped him write the song, produced it. It was totally personal and done.
Are you talking about that Bing Copilot AI that does that? It'll you just tell it what to do, and it'll create an avatar of you. You give it a picture, and it's just like you. It's you, and it knows how to move the faces so that it looks like you talk. It's like a deep fake.
I think that's a different one. I think, and then there's Sora for filmmaking that makes a whole film scene like that.
What is it? Bora?
Sora with an S.
Oh, yeah. I never heard of that.
Oh yeah. There's all different kinds. So I think it's like maybe 10 years to where you can, as Priscilla, you can go, well, okay, I'm Priscilla. I want to be in a movie with Elvis Presley and have Marilyn Monroe in it and Angelina Jolie, and it will make it on your screen. There'll be some sort of like AI flicks or something where then you're just going to be able to be an actor in the movie with your old time, new time actors.
It'll create the script too, probably.
Yeah. It's like you could just say, I want to be in a romance, in a love triangle, I
want to be in a Christmas movie.
There you go. There you go. You're gonna get it. And the next 10 years we're gonna get it for you. That's happening.
I will be in a Christmas movie as a background person. I will do it through Sora.
And you'll never have to get out of your pajamas.
Oh, that's even better. Oh yeah. So your thoughts are that you think that's going to happen in less than 25 years. So like 10 years.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable. But so that's why my husband and I, being the entrepreneurs that we are learning how to work with AI. So they will still, I think, at least for a while, still need actors to like, kind of like I've done motion capture for video games. So it might be something like that, like to have the body and then like change the face or change the voice or things like that. Unless SAG puts in specific wordage, it's going to have to go further with limiting what studios can do, but still independent films will do what they want. So the thing that people don't understand about AI is the way the math works is that it learns exponentially. So the faster it learns, the faster it learns. It learns even faster and faster and faster as it builds. Because people were like, oh, but voiceover is not going to be replaced for like 50 years or whatever. It's like, no, now. Like now. The voiceover is now. And the acting is coming. And the producing and the writing and the everything. So you'll still have films. I think it will still be an art. But it's going to be competing with this AI world. I think it's just inevitable, unfortunately.
Yeah, what are all the people in the entertainment industry gonna do?
And the
Would you
musicians too. The musicians too. The music.
Oh yeah, that you see that now. Before when you'd go to a wedding, you always see a band. Now you just see the DJ or an MC that's acting as the DJ, pulling up
like terrible songs or something. They have like Johnny Cash doing like a Lady Gaga song or something. And it even says Johnny Cash. They have like Johnny Cash doing like.
You got cut off for that second. I want to get that information. What did you say?
Oh, so it's Johnny Cash doing the Barbie song, like "I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world" on Instagram. It's called like terrible. I ruined it. I think the page is called "I Ruined It." Like here, I ruined it. And so Johnny Cash is doing the Barbie girl song, and then at the end he's like, "And I'm an AI, and this really sucks because I'm a Barbie girl stuck in a Barbie world."
Oh my God!
And it sounds just like him.
What?
Yeah.
See, now I have got to go back and I've got to look this up. Now you are just bringing so much information to this audience tonight. I don't even know what to do with all your information. We need to just hire you and keep you here.
That's right.
And you do all the commenting.
My goal is to be in a Christmas movie too.
Yeah. Oh, your husband wants to be in a Christmas movie too?
No, me.
Oh, you want to be? Oh, we got our goals. We got our goals, right? Now, have you heard of immersive filmmaking?
Not offhand. Can you?
I had neither, girl. Albert, can you explain, because Tasha doesn't know what the hell immersive filmmaking is either. Can you give me like one?
3D.
Okay, 3D.
It looks 3D.
It looks 3D.
It looks like you're right there.
It looks like like if you were in a movie theater. Okay, so you know when you go to the movie theaters and you see the 3D? Well, Albert has those virtual glasses, those crazy things.
Virtual reality?
Yeah, virtual reality glasses. So now he's watching immersive filmmakers making these films. And what else could you tell us about it?
It looks amazing.
It looks amazing. He said, okay, well, what was the name of that film that you watched? I think they only have The Faceless Lady. Produced by Meta. Okay. So Facebook produced this. They're exploring, as most social media apps are doing now, they're exploring the world of immersive filmmaking. I personally was not impressed with the actors, but I was impressed with the concept, because when you're in these glasses, which I don't have, but I looked at what he was watching. Oh my God, Tasha, it feels like you are in the scene, like you are right in the scene and they talk to you, like you can participate. And that is what Meta immersive filmmaking is. Apparently this is the wave of the future. So actors can now get involved in this immersive filmmaking. So there's hope. There's hope for the actor to have another venue, but they said they have to learn a whole new way of acting. So it's like, when they got to act in front of the green screen, this is nothing but green screen acting. So it is a great challenge mentally and physically for an actor, because you see nothing. They put it in after. Of course, they describe the script just like you would do for a regular green screen scene. And that is what is coming up now. And Facebook is doing it. I hear TikTok is. Who else? Albert is much more. What is it?
It's not green screen.
What is it?
They're just filming.
I know Samsung did it a few years ago, because we had the Samsung vision, so they did that. I always like to say Samsung does it like 5 years earlier, and then like 5 years later, Apple does it, and everybody's losing their mind. Like, no, we've had it for a while. Thanks.
Oh yeah, but this immersive filmmaking, I'm not into it because I don't like anything on my face. I can't wear hats. I can't wear anything on my head. Oh my God, I feel like clawing the walls. But he's huge into watching these immersive films now in the games and stuff, and he said they're very progressive. So I think that's something else that we're going to look forward to, immersive filmmaking by the studios.
Yeah.
And now let's end this with what are your on the horizon? What are your next career goals? What's up for little Tasha Perez Dixon?
Well, so my career goal is putting it out there. I really love I read the whole script of this feature that I told you that I just auditioned for. So, fingers crossed on that, which, I can't say blah, blah, what it is, but it's a Black comedy. And like I said, I love comedy. So it's like deliciously fun. If it's from people who do Orange is the New Black and Weeds, it's going to be fun, but a little twisted. So
now for people who don't know what Black comedy is, can you tell them what Black comedy is?
Oh, so Black comedy is, it's like a Schadenfreude. It's like comedy that is dark, that, like Horrible Bosses is kind of a Black comedy, like things that dastardly things happen, but in a funny way. So you can't help but laugh at the ridiculousness.
Like that show, Sabrina, not way back Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the new Sabrina. That's dark comedy.
Oh, I don't know it.
Really good. Oh, you gotta check it out. I didn't know any of the actors in it, but it's really good. It is the purest form of Black comedy I've ever seen. I had to get used to them to saying, how we say, thank God. Well, they say things like, thank Satan. Oh, God. Oh, they say, for Satan's sake. And just everything that has to do, because of course the devil is equivalent to the god, and you're living in the witch's world with vampires and werewolves and all these dark characters, but yet they have the dark comedy attached. I highly recommend it. It's Sabrina. It's on, I think, it's on the streaming platform, so I think maybe Netflix. Check it out. It's your cup of tea for sure. And so you want to continue, you were on here.
So I want to move forward with that, and then like I said, the industry is going to get going again, so I'd like to ride on the success that I've had with the previous projects to get into some good things and get the funding to make my personal project of The Wizard on the Lot. Those would be the ones that would just make me happy and fulfilled to get those out there. Yeah.
What now you and your husband, is it Sam? Oh God, I'm the worst.
Dean.
What is it?
Dean.
Why am I calling? Oh my God, I've just named the two characters from Supernatural, Sam and Dean. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm the worst at remembering names. Okay. Now you're both actors, but you have
my husband's not an actor. My husband's a producer.
Who the hell am I thinking of? Or do you have two husbands? I'm thinking of a total different husband.
Only on TV. Only on TV.
In my mind, you also have a husband that's an actor too, whether you know it or not.
He used to be. He used to be an actor.
That's what it was. I knew there was something with.
He's handsome enough to still be an actor.
Yeah, he is a hottie. He is. So, what in your opinion, if you had to give some advice, I wanted you to, what are the 3 do's and 3 don'ts of pursuing a career as an actor?
Ooh.
Like, do this, don't do it. Like, here, I'll give you an example. A do. Show up on time. And being on time in the entertainment industry is being an hour too late. So show up on time. That's one of mine. Another one of mine is when you go for auditions, do not ever participate in gossip about previous projects you were on, the actors on the set, the directors, because the casting people are sitting right there and next thing you know, you're out. You're on the blacklist. But with the e-shooting, so you're still going into offices. But anyway, I digress. What are some of your 3 do's and 3 don'ts?
Okay, so let's see. One of my do's, so this comes from me producing and directing. So there was a project that I produced, directed, and then acted in a separate piece. So I had like way too much going on. I don't want to produce another thing that I act in because I want to be in full artist mode. But what I would say is when you book a job, be secure in the fact that we chose you and we want you. Because I had an actress that I cast and she was great and I loved her and she was amazing. And I'm producing, so I'm having to like make sure the catering comes and make sure the people are on the list and make sure the security's there. And I'm directing, so I have to be. And she kept being like, "Hey, can I talk to you about what I'm gonna wear? Hey, can I talk to you about how I'm gonna do your hair? Hey, are you sure you like the way that I did this?" And it starts to make me nervous. Like, did I make the right choice? And I have 20 million things to do. Like, we chose you to take that off our plate, and we trust you to do the job. If you book the role, have the security. And as I'm telling you, I'm also retelling myself too. Of like, if you book it, you are the one, and we're not second guessing it. You are taking a load off us because we got so many. You as a producer have, you have so many plates you're balancing, things that get canceled. An outfit rips, and you got to deal with all this stuff. And the last thing you need are actors who need validation. So come with your own validation that you are the one.
Shut the hell up and do the job. Okay. What else you got?
So I would say do that. Don't take on too many roles if you are like self-making a project, since they all say like self-make your project. Figure out where you can delegate so you don't have to trust. Like Steven Spielberg says, like his most important job as a director is like finding the right people to do the job, and he works with the same people because he knows they're going to deliver. He trusts they'll bring their creativeness that fits within his storytelling, and he doesn't have to worry about that. So the same thing as an actor, don't take on more than you can chew because it will totally undermine your creative acting performance.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. Now, what are some pros and cons of choosing the life of an actor? Just give me like one pro, one con.
Yeah. Okay. So a pro is when you can allow yourself to be creative and empathic and authentic. So that's also the hardest thing, because you're like, oh, but I want to be what they want. And oh, this is what the breakdown says. And oh, I think they're looking for this. But it's true when they say sometimes they don't know what they want until they see it, because you blow them out of the water, because people love to be surprised. And they've created this section of their art, whether they're the writer or they're the director. So they've created this portion. But if you can surprise them, even if they have you go back and do it the other way, you stand out because you've gone, oh, wow, they took my words and they did that. Or they see that person like this, not right. But if they can do that, they can definitely do what I want.
Right.
So that's a pro when you can make this magic alchemy of like something you read and you bring it to life. That's like a pro that's like living the dream, of like getting to breathe life into something and collaborate with people. I love to collaborate. I love to do that. And then the con is it's taken many years for me to learn of like being authentic, to put your heart and soul on the line and then disengage from the result. It's so hard because there's so much rejection, and it's true. You don't know why. You don't know if it's your performance, if it's how you look, if they lost the budget, if they got a star, if they hired their niece. So that's the con, is like bearing everything you have and then letting it go, and it's okay if they don't like it.
Yes. And I'll give you a pro. I think it's absolutely the coolest thing to work a job where you get to be hired to be an actor and you get to learn all of these things that you would have had to pay a ton of money for. Oh, we want you to be a sword fighter. You can learn to be sword fighting. You can learn how to do karate. You can learn how to be an egg tosser. You can learn how to juggle. You can learn how to do so many things. I mean, what job do you get to be hired and they pay for you to learn all of these skills?
And what job do you get to play for a living? That's the other thing. You get to be permanent children. Like,
yes.
What?
I mean, imagine if you had to pay to learn how to do martial arts, you would pay a lot of money. But if you're an actor, they will pay for you to learn it. They prefer that you already have it, which brings me my other point. Learn as many skills and add it to, I like to call it talent stacks, but add it to your talent stack, even if you're a woman. And you want parkour, women do parkour. Don't think you can't do it because you're a man, but also sword fighting. You can lift a sword, anything that you can add, juggling, because I have lots of friends who are casting directors, and here's what they say, Priscilla, sometimes we're looking for something so obscure, and the first thing we do, because they usually use breakdown services, but sometimes they have other ways that they look for people, and say they want to find someone who is an actor who really knows how to juggle. They'll type in juggle, and then all of these actors who can juggle and have it under hobbies will come up. So you have narrowed down your space, and you're going to get called just for that one little hobby of being an egg tosser or a plate juggler. It may seem weird and like, why would I ever do that? But you would not. I mean, you watch these interview shows. How many times have I watched Graham Norton and Emma Stone telling a story about, how she had this weird hobby and she got cast for the movie because she had this weird hobby. And even Tom Cruise, he could juggle in the movie Cocktail. That's before your time, but in the movie Cocktail, he was a bartender and he had to juggle bottles of liquor and wine. He knew how to do that before they actually perfected it. So I would say, please try to add to your talent stack. Get those skills. The more skills you have, the more you're in demand.
Plus the outlets you have take away from the frustration of
exactly. Yeah.
When you can focus your energy on something else positive, then positivity comes back to you in other ways.
Exactly. Just do it. Trust me. And I would always say that even if you want to pursue a career as a dramatic actor, a serious actor, please take some improv classes, some sketch comedy classes, because the person who can do comedy drama is a breeze. If you do drama only, comedy comes a little harder. Did I say that right? Yes, I did. So try to take those classes. I think we've covered everything, Miss Tasha Perez Dixon.
All right.
And you are a fantastic, you are a dream interviewer. I think that all the future late night talk show hosts are going to vie for your love and attention to come on their show.
Well, thank you. So. From your lips to Spielberg's ears.
It is going to happen, my girl. You've got the talent. Keep on trucking.
That's right.
Truck. All right. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. This was a blast. Just talking to you. It's so great.
Well, we always got along, and I wish that you lived here in LA so you could come to more of my parties. But
I do live in LA, girl.
I thought you lived in Arizona. I'm so confused because every time I invite you to a party, you say you're in Arizona.
Well, I go back and forth. I go back and forth because I work in Arizona, because like the movie was in Arizona, but I have a house.
You live in LA.
Yeah.
You live here.
Okay. Yeah, I live like 10 minutes from Lana.
Oh my God, I had no idea. I did not know that. Okay, because I was going to say, I'm going to Arizona in the fall because the guy who was their director of, what was that movie with the movie with the actor Bruce Willis, the one that made his career way back in the 80s.
Die Hard?
Die Hard, thank you. So that's one of our panel speakers for the festival. So I was like, oh, I'm going to come visit you, but you live in LA.
But I go back all the time. So
maybe you'll be there.
Space fluid. I'm space fluid.
You're liquid. You're very liquidy. Okay, everybody. So look Tasha up on imdb.com at Tasha Dixon and follow her on social media. I think you're only on Instagram, right?
I mean, I'm on Facebook and stuff too, but Instagram is where I post all my work stuff.
Instagram at Real Tasha Dixon. She's the real deal.
Real deal.
Dixon. All right, sweetie. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
and I hope
you
to
for
see you
having
in
me.
person soon.
Yes,
bring your sash. I want to touch it.
Oh, it's in my closet. I can bring it. I can bring the crown too.
Oh, yes, bring it. My next party, bring it. I'm getting pictures with that equipment. All right.
It's a deal. And then we'll talk Christmas movies.
That's right. Okay, bye.
Bye.
You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona. Priscilla Leona.